Hello, everyone. Hi. Hello. Hi, Rosie. I'm sorry for springing this on you, for springing this on everyone. I was struck by sudden inspiration. I I suddenly had the thought, hey, why not some BLASEBALL? And from there, I spiraled out of control. But thank you for coming. Today we're going to be talking about some stlats, some stats, some other things too. We need to talk about everything. We need to talk about the heart and the soul of this game called BLASEBALL. And if anyone doesn't know what BLASEBALL is, basically uh, it's like a splort. It's like a splort, but it's like, It's a splort that makes you go, And that's probably the best way I can describe it. Maybe there's a good explanation somewhere in the online. Yeah, basically that's all it is. And currently we're in the middle of a little bit. Oh my gosh, the unlimited tacos have retweeted my stream. That's so exciting. Yes, so we're going to be talking about this and that, and I think for that to proceed forward, I am going to... It's baseball for homestucks. That's a good way to describe it, honestly. That's a very good way to describe it, to be honest. Okay, I'm gonna open up my thingy. Alright, so today we're looking at basically a power rankings thing somebody did. It was what was this person's at? Molly1312 at lesbians SC on Twitter made this power ranking for season 4 of BLASEBALL, and I want to just sort of look at that, analyze it, maybe say where I agree and where I disagree, and we're gonna have a great old time. We're gonna have a grand old time. All right, everyone, let's start. Wait, where is it? Hello? Oh, here it is. It's loading. Alright, so first, maybe I can make this a little bit, like, actually fit the screen. Or, like, okay. Hello, Rain. Thank you for coming. Put the chat box there. And there we are. Okay. That almost looks okay. So I'm gonna just be going through this top down, from the highest in the power rankings to the lowest. So number 1, we've got the Hades Tigers. What our friend here has written for us is, what more is there to say about the Tigers at this point? After they dominated Season 3 from start to finish, culminating in their internet series winnings, the Millennials, they've somehow only gotten better. Yasmin Mason has taken significant strides in her pitching since the end of last season, and the addition of McLaughlin Scorpier in their trade with the Millennials has only bolstered their lineup. Paula Turnip, the other relative newcomer, has already proven herself to be worthy of stardom with her performance in the internet series and will surely do wonders in the upcoming season. It should come as no surprise that they do even better than last year and break the single season wins record. Now, I, for the most part, agree with this. I think that the Tigers are really good going into next season. I think they've got everything they need to do just wonderfully. Do I think that they're almost certainly... Do I think that they're going to sweep it? Do I think that they're going to absolutely take it home? Honestly, I have my doubts. I have some reservations about that. You know, I think that the Tigers... I think that they're tired. I think that they're not prepared for what's coming. Yeah, it's really sad what happened to Violet. That was really sad. And I think even though a lot of that fury of after the incineration drove them forward into winning last season, I think there's going to be a bit of a burnout. People don't take into account emotional burnout in BLASEBALL enough. And I think that it's really important to do so, because this isn't just some minor league sport. This is real stuff. This is real human beings we're talking about. And we have to be honest with ourselves. Can the Tigers really take another victory? Can they really hold a single season's win record? I'm not sure if they can. You know, I'm no media analyst, but I think I've got the working frog's opinion here. So next up, let's talk Chicago Firefighters. So who are ranked number 2 on the power rankings for season 4. So in season 3, they went 35-64. They were 5th in lawful good and did not qualify for the playoffs. Our friend here writes, "Let's face it, Chicago's 3rd season in the ILB was dreadful. Plagued by peanut allergies, the lineup couldn't return to its overpowering ways and instead finished bottom of the entire league. This offseason, however, the front office made some remarkable moves, most notably trading for Axel Trololol, one of the most talented pitchers in the league. Not only that, but the entire squad, most notably Joshua Butt, Paula Mason, and Edric Tosser, have an energy about them that suggests they will be back and ready to compete for a title once again. The good league should be very worried about the Firefighters in season 4. Now, the Firefighters, they have something. What they have is overconfidence. That's what the Firefighters have. And frankly, I think it's too much. I don't want to be controversial here. I don't want to stoke any fires. But I'm just saying that I think the Firefighters did, let's face it, abysmally last season. And while I appreciate their efforts, I think that they're not really going to do too well, to be honest. Axel Trololol is an asset. Nobody can deny that Trololol is an asset. But we have to take into account team synergy. Team synergy is so important. And I don't know if they have if they have what it takes to go all the way. Now, that being said, I don't think they're going to do poorly in this upcoming year. I think that they can do just fine. This upcoming season, I mean. I think that they're going to do just fine. I think it's going to be absolutely nothing special. I'm sorry to say it. It's just we get it, they're from Chicago. I wish they'd get over it. I agree. You know, I know Chicago. I've never been to Chicago personally. It's fine. It's just fine. Now, our friend here is predicting 64-35, 1st in lawful good, and loses to Hades in Internet Series. I cannot agree, personally. I just can't agree. Alright. Let's take a look this time at the New York Millennials. can I talk about millennials for a second? Because I think I need to talk about millennials for a second. These days, all the millennials do is they're on their phones, they're twittering, they're tweeting, they're twooting. If they use Mastodon, maybe they're tooting. And I just really am tired of that millennial attitude. I think it's a bit much, to be honest. Avocados, don't care for them personally. But let's talk business. Let's really get into it. In season 3, the New York Millennials went 65-34. They were first in Chaotic Good, and they lost to Hades in the internet series. Now, okay. There's a lot of positives to be found in the Millennials team. A strong batting lineup and a pitching rotation without a weak link are 2 factors that will undoubtedly drive this team to further success in season 4. Coming off a remarkable season 3 performance where they fell just short of a trophy, the Mills? I've never heard that before, but that's fun. Will be hungry to avenge their internet series loss. The trade of McLaughlin Scorpier and their absence of the 4th strike should only slightly hinder them, and we should all expect New York to be back just as strong as before. Keep an eye on Thomas Dracana and Theodoro Cervantes especially, as they'll each certainly contribute a lot in their respective positions. Season 4 predictions 62-37, first in Chaotic Good, and loses to Chicago in the semifinals. These media analysts these days, all they care about is stats. All they care about is, oh, this team has really good numbers, but I can't abide numbers. I speak the truth. I speak for the trees. And I'm here to talk about what's real, what's honest. And I'm here to talk about narrative coherency. Because the millennials have had it too good for too long. They've got the respect of all the generations around them. They've got a good, secure housing market. They've got New York, the greatest city in the world. They've got everything. And frankly, I think they're ready for a fall. I think New York is going to plummet this season. And I don't want to be negative. I'm not here to be negative. I also hope the numbers are good for BLASEBALL tacos. I really just don't want to contribute to this era of negativity about sports. But the New York Millennials, they've got it coming. Honestly. Okay. Now let's talk the Breckenridge... Oh no. The words, they're being blasted out of my mouth by fire. Wait, why won't it scroll on the screen? Come on. Scroll. I need you to scroll down. I might have to just pop back up. Oh, come on. Alright, it's fine. I'm reading it to you anyway, so you don't need to see it. So, 4th in the power rankings, we've got the Breckenridge Jazz Hands. In season 3, they went 50-49, were second in Chaotic Eve, and lost to Hades in the quarterfinals. Now, before we get into Breckenridge Jazz Hands, can we talk about theater kids? Theater kids are a plague upon our society. Theater kids have... I really just don't know what to say about theater kids. And I think that we need to recognize that there's some inherent theater kid quality to the Jazz Hands. Now, I'm not saying that, they're gonna go prancing around and, do a Macbeth. maybe I should get to just the straight up the commentary provided to us once again by at lesbians SC on Twitter. So about the Breckenridge Jazz Hands. The Nagomi McDaniel trade didn't quite work out like Jazz Hands San Antonio hoped, with the league dealing her out immediately to the Crabs in return for Holden Stanton. But the Jazz Hands have a lot to look forward to anyway in Season 4. With a very talented hitting lineup, they should be capable of keeping up with most of the league in runs scored. Also, despite arguable meddling from the Houston Spies causing some issues for other teams in the Chaotic Evil division, the Jazz Hands seem to have only improved their abilities on the base paths. Their pitching is a little questionable, but with their talent, they can be expected to fight for a playoff spot in a difficult division and potentially even come out on top. Theater kids need to be stopped at all costs. I understand and I agree. I completely am okay, and their Season 4 prediction is 57-42, first in Chaotic Evil, and loses to Hades in semifinals. I don't entirely disagree with what some of this is saying. Despite my theater kid based negativity, I think that they've got a good shot here. They've got something going for them. But the Jazz Hands need to get serious, is my opinion. The Jazz Hands did pretty good last season, but pretty good. Somebody's knocking on my front door. One moment. Alright, sports fans have returned. So, let's talk shop. There's Taco Blaseball says, we wish there was more seriousness in Blaseball. You know what, Taco Blaseball from TV? I completely agree with you. Blaseball is a serious sport, and people need to really be honest with themselves with what they're doing. Now, like I said earlier, I think I said this. The Jazz Hands don't have a bad chance next season. I think the Jazz Hands are going to do just fine. In fact, I think that the idea that they would win the Chaotic Evil division Chaotic Evil. I think that they would be. I think that they have the potential to go first in Chaotic Evil. Because there's nothing more chaotic evil than a theater kid. And that's all I have to say about that. Now, number 5. The San Francisco Lovers. Season 3 results, 59-40. First in Lawful Good. Lost to New York in semifinals. The San Francisco Lovers. Oh, those people. First in Lawful Good. What does it really mean to be first in something? I think that to be first in something, you have to not only have the stats. Rosie, that's too many tacos. Rosie, that's all of the tacos. You'll never stop eating the tacos if you eat all of the tacos in Los Angeles. The San Francisco lovers, people say that they were first in lawful good. I say that at the heart of hearts, they were at best second and at worst last. Which is logically consistent with them not being first. That's the heart of the matter. Our friend here says there was a lot to love about the lovers in season 3. Though they fell off just a little bit near the end of the season, they were undoubtedly one of the best teams in the league, and we should expect them to continue to be going forward. Led by power couple Kichiro Guerra and Mai Ulacher, their batting lineup is formidable. Their pitching rotation, led by Parker Mang, may struggle to keep up with the Firefighters over the course of the season, but they should be more than capable of booking themselves into a road trip in season 4, this time to a second playoff series with the Millennials. Now, here's the deal. Here's the truth. And I'm not one of those media analysts. I don't just rely on stlats and stats. I go to the heart of the matter. The lovers, they're pretty good. They're pretty good at what they do. I think they've got what it takes. Do I think they're going to be first in lawful good next season? Not in the least. But I think they're going to do all right. I think that they'll probably... Truthfully, I just don't want them to get first. I want them to get second. And that is actually this person's season for prediction. 55-44, second in lawful good, loses to New York in quarterfinals. Okay, yeah, that makes sense. It's pronounced, yeah, okay. Loses to New York in quarterfinals. I understand that. What I don't understand is number 6, the Canada Moist Talkers, or for those in the know, the Canada Maoist Talkers. So in season 3, they went 53-46. They were first in Chaotic Evil and lost to Philly in the quarterfinals. You've gotta love Philly. Canada had an uneventful offseason, says our correspondent who wrote this. They held on to their ace, Polka Dot Patterson, and the rest of their roster as well. While their hitting still leaves a bit to be desired, the Moist Talkers retain one of the best pitching staffs in the entire league. Patterson and Jenkins Good lead the way for what will be a very difficult team to beat. The Chaotic Evil division may be even more competitive than before the season, but we should expect them to fight for the division all the way through and secure a playoff spot for the 3rd season running. Their only large concern should be scoring runs, but their pitchers should be able to keep them competitive even in games where they struggle to get around the bases. And this person's season for prediction is 55-44, second in Chaotic Evil, and loses to Breckenridge in quarterfinals. Here's the thing. Here's my truth. Here's my truth, personally. First I'll take a drink of water. The Canada Moist Talkers, or the Canada Maoist Talkers, those in the know, are... Truthfully, they're frightening to me. I don't understand them. I'm sure you all know a great deal about this. I once read a fictional story, and this fictional story was about a team called the Seattle Mariners. And the Seattle Mariners were a really weird team. They just had the weirdest history in the world. And the thing about the Seattle Mariners, the fictional baseball team, what did I just say? The fictional... It slipped out of my mind. The fictional sports team, the Seattle Mariners, is they were in Seattle, which, if you don't know where Seattle is, it's up there, in that direction. It's up there in that direction, but it's pretty far away from all the other sports teams that they compete against. And that isolation, that true isolation, I think is what gave them their power and also their weakness. You need to have a real community of sports teams, in my opinion. And I think the Canada Moist Talkers have a little bit of that same thing going on. They're a little bit country, a little bit rock and roll, and a little bit isolated. And I think that's going to be a problem for them coming up. But they could also make it a strength. And that's what's important. If they're able to turn this to their betterment, then the Canada Moist Talkers could go further than any of us have ever seen before. That's my truth. That's just some straight talk. Not that I've ever talked straight in my life. That's just some truth. Now let's talk about number 7. Number 7 is the Seattle Garages in this power ranking done by our correspondent at Lesbians SC. Now the Seattle... I really need to... Seattle is the name of my friend from underwater who is a seahorse. I'm really glad for you, Taco Baseball. It's good to have a seahorse friend. I really need to figure out how to make this darn thing scroll down so you can actually see what I'm reading. Maybe if I do this or that, this or that. Surely this or that will work. No, it didn't. Alright, well, to heck with me then. Alright, so the Seattle Garages. Season 3, they went 48-51. They were 4th in Chaotic Evil and did not qualify for playoffs. Little has changed in Seattle over the off-season siesta, but word from the training camp suggests that everybody, hitters and pitchers alike, look a bit more confident than before. Despite coming up just short of the playoffs last year, there's plenty of reason to bet on the Garages in Season 4. They continue to have one of the most well-rounded teams in the league, with no one in particular stealing the spotlight. With that said, keep an eye on batters Theodore Duende and Allison Abbott on either end of the lineup to provide some punch to what should very well be a team capable of finally sealing themselves with a trip to playoffs. Now, Seattle Garages. I've got a lot of confidence in the Seattle Garages. To me, they're an underdog story. They are protagonists. They're like Karasuno High in Haikyuu. They're like whatever the school was called in Yomushi Pedal. They're like every protagonist of every single sports anime. And I think this might just be their season. And if this isn't their season, they're going to have a very emotional battle with someone. And there will be an eternal rivalry sealed. And maybe some romance, and probably also a big bunch of just inspirational quotes and very cool made-for-television moments. That's what I think of the Seattle Garages. I think they've got big protagonist energy. Now let's go to number 8 on Lesbians SC's power ranking for Season 4. Yellowstone Magic. Season 3 results, 53-46. 3rd in Chaotic Good. Did not qualify for playoffs. The Magic posted a very solid record last year and only narrowly missed out on the playoffs. Yellowstone has a very solid pitching rotation led by I'm not good at pronouncing names sometimes. They're the Narutos of baseball. Rosie, you got it in one. You know what? I don't want to look like a fool who doesn't know how to pronounce things, so I'm going to Google that really fast. Does the sound of my Googling, is it interesting? Is this good streaming? I hope so. If you don't think so, like, share, and subscribe so that I can like, share, and subscribe so that I can improve in the future. Alright. So, the magic was... Ow, I bit my cheek. This is the magic that they have. The Magic posted a very solid record last year, and only narrowly missed out on the playoffs. Yellowstone has a very solid pitching rotation, led by young Hill Garcia, and a powerful number 3 hitter in Francisco Prestone. Francisco Prestone? Or is it Preston? My brain told me to read it as Prestone, so I'm going to say Prestone. The Magics are nice. They casted a funny little spell on me that gave me sleep apnea. Yeah, they will do that. With their entire squad returning at roughly the same level as before, their fate will largely be in their own hands this season if they want to make it out of the very competitive, chaotic good division. I urge you not to underestimate the Magic. While besting the Millennials might be too tall a task, expect them to fight neck and neck with the Shoe Thieves for second in the division and a playoff spot. Now, here's the truth. Because like I've said, I only speak the truth here. I only tell truths and no lies. Magic is out this year. Harry Potter? No thank you. Wizard schools? Nuh-uh. Magic is out. And frankly, I'm done with Magic this year. People tried to curse the moon. They tried to hex the moon. And that was a step too far for me. I'm a toad who loves the moon personally, and knowing that Magic users would try and hex it makes me really sad. I don't mean to be tearing up right now, but I just really need you all to understand the depth of my emotion right now about Magic users, because I can't handle it. I can't handle it anymore, and we need to stop. You all need to stop doing this. Stop casting magic. Stop with your spells, with your hexes, with your jinxes. I don't think I can take it anymore. I can't do it. I just can't do it. Yellowstone Magic. Eat my shorts. Okay. Let's talk about number 9. The Dallas Stakes. In Season 3, they went 55-44. They were second in Lawful Good, and they lost to New York in quarterfinals. Don't get me wrong, Stakes fans, your team is still quite good, but with the rapid improvement of the Firefighters and the very talented Lovers, Dallas is going to have a difficult time in the Lawful Good division this season. Their well-rounded battling? What if there was more battling in BLASEBALL? I would like that. Their well-rounded batting lineup and fairly strong pitching rotation are still going to be capable of competing in the good league, and expect them to fight for a playoff spot the entire way, but they may come up short in their quest to keep their streak of playoff appearances alive. Marco Stink and Leach Herman should lead the way in a hard-fought season. Season 4 prediction? 51-48. Third in Lawful Good. Does not qualify for playoffs. The Stakes. I completely agree with this one. Let's move on. 10. Baltimore Crabs. Season 3 results. 44-55. Third in Lawful Evil. Did not qualify for playoffs. You might not feel like you might feel Dow of Stakes. The Dow of Stakes is extremely important. You might feel like I've placed the Crabs too low on this list, and to that, I say that's fair. Truthfully, there's a lot to like about the Baltimore team going into Season 4, especially if they can continue their momentum from the end of Season 3. The recent acquisition of Montgomery McDaniel, one of the brightest stars in the league, should rightly have Crabs fans cheering, and they have a pitching staff that is quite solid, though not exceptional, but McDaniel's placement in 9th in the batting order is a problem, and they might find themselves struggling for runs in early innings despite the talent of Valentine Games leading the way in the second position. Believe me, this team has the potential to claw their way into the playoffs, but it will be hard fought all the way. Season 4 prediction, 51-48, second in Lawful Evil does not qualify for playoffs. Our correspondent here, at LesbiansSC on Twitter, obviously feels very passionately about the Crabs. I can feel the power, the love for the Crabs in their heart. And I am not behind them on this one. I think that there's no way that the Baltimore Crabs won't be the best Lawful Evil team this side of Kentucky. Except they do have one rival who actually are also on the same side of Kentucky. And so I think that they need to watch out. I think it's going to be a tough battle between the Crabs and their biggest rival, who I will detail in a little bit. Number 11, the Charleston Shoe Thieves. Season 3 results, 60-40, second in chaotic good. They lost to the Lovers in the quarterfinals. The Season 3 Charleston Shoe Thieves can be remembered for three things: scoring loads of runs, allowing loads of runs, and the grand unslam. The latter of these was perhaps the most notable and bizarre event in the history of the league, and the Shoe Thieves ultimately finished the season with one extra game played. They were almost certainly the most exciting team in the league to watch in Season 3. I'm just going to step in here. It's me, Carrie, everyone. I'm going to step in here and say that that's wrong. Now let's continue. And in Season 4, you should expect much of the same. While stars like Ren Hunter and Workman Bloom headline their talented lineup, their pitching is among the weakest in the league. Expect plenty more games where they combine for 20-plus runs with their opponents, but don't expect them to coast in the playoffs so easily once more. Now, despite my disagreements with some of these statements, I fully believe in the Charleston Shoe Thieves and their ability. I think out of all the chaotic good teams, they've got what it takes to go the far. I think they may have what it takes to go the farthest. What we need to keep in mind about the Shoe Thieves is that they're squirrely. They're very squirrely. Not only that, but they're gonna have really good baseball shoes. And I'm not so sure everyone else in the league will have baseball. Sorry, what did I say? It got lost in my, sorry, I feel like I blacked out for a minute there. I feel like I woke up somewhere else. Anyway, as I was saying, I think we need to watch out for the not the Chicago Firefighters, the Charleston Shoe Thieves, because they will have really good baseball shoes. And you can't underestimate a good pair of shoes. Because you need to run in this game. You need to run, keep running. It's still right behind you until you get a home run. I think that's how baseball works. Now let's talk about number 12. The Boston Flowers. We're 12 out of 20. We're 12 out of 20 here, folks. We're 12 out of 20. Get your snacks if you need them, but don't touch that dial. In Season 3, the Boston Flowers went 42-57, fifth in chaotic good, and did not qualify for playoffs. Our correspondent here, at LesbiansSC on Twitter, said, "I believe that the Boston Flowers are better than their record from last season. But I'm not quite sold on the idea of them returning to the playoffs just yet. Their pitching rotation is respectable, and the one who puncher Jacob Haynes and Beck Whitney will give them a real boost on offense. Even though it seems the Chaotic Good division will be a bit weaker overall than it was last season, it's hard to bet on them doing quite enough to slip into the postseason with the formidable teams ahead of them in the Good League. Boston ace Dunn Keys has the potential to be an all-star, however, and should be respected. I do respect Dunn Keys. I do. And you should too. And they predict 48-51, fourth in Chaotic Good, and a lack of qualification for playoffs. Here's the truth, sports fans. Here's the truth. I'm just gonna give it to you straight, like I never do, because I'm just gonna give it to you gay, which sounds very funny. I think the Flowers are, they're kind of like they're like a nice little league team. They're like, oh, that's so cute. And you watch them play and you say, oh, they did so good out there. Oh, better luck next time, champ. But they're not really like ace team material. This isn't what I'd call a respectable internet league BLASEBALL team. They're respectable enough, sure, but let's not get into respectability politics here. Honestly, bye Rosie, go tacos, yeah, thank you for coming. The heck am I saying? The Flowers are sweet, they're adorable, they're lovely, but they're not cut out for this line of work, in my opinion. And that's just my opinion, but I'm just telling you the facts, folks. Just telling you the facts. Now, number 13, the Mexico City Wild Wings. Season 3 results, 42-57. Fourth in Lawful Evil. Did not qualify for playoffs. Though they may not have any superstars, the batting lineup of the Wild Wings has no glaring weak spots either. Sosa Hayes, batting fourth, is one player in particular to watch out for, as he can do some damage both at the plate and on the base pass. The rotation is oddly ordered, but much the same as the batters, their whole pitching staff is quite capable, with all-star Sylvia Rugrat anchoring them. They're going to likely struggle to keep up with the Tigers and even the Crabs, but if they can get some momentum going, they might have what it takes to get in the postseason. Season for prediction, her correspondent. 47-52, third in Lawful Evil. Will not qualify for playoffs. The Wild Wings. What can you say about the Wild Wings that hasn't already been said? They've been talked to death. I'm, frankly, a little tired of hearing about the Wild Wings. They've got... We get it. We get it. And I understand. And I love you. But I think they should just do their best. That's all I'll say. They should do their best. Because I'm still crying about the Magics. I am having a tough time here, folks. I'm sorry. Magic really gets to me on a personal level. Let's go to the least magical team in the league. Miami Dale. Season 3 results. 40-59. Fifth in Chaotic Evil. Did not qualify for playoffs. Despite having a rather weak lineup of hitters, the Dale maintained one of the best pitching rotations in BLASEBALL, even without a true superstar. Ace Rivers Climbone is among the most talented pitchers in the league, and he could lead Miami to a decent season if the rest of the rotation can match him. Although we might not expect the batters to put up the numbers of other stronger squads, watch out for all-star Han Fox, as she has the potential to light up the league with her bat. While we shouldn't expect Miami to keep up with the top of the very competitive Chaotic Evil division, they could get hot and race into the playoffs if things fall right for them. this is, like I said before, one of the least magical teams in baseball. And for that, I do care for them deeply in my heart. I must say, Miami Dale, they didn't do very good last season. Do I think they're going to do very good next season? I think so. I think that they're going to secure a position that they didn't have before, frankly. I think that they're going to really shine this season. There's nothing, I don't have any quote-unquote factual statistical evidence to support that. But do I need that? Do I really need that? Is that what people want? Is that what people need in their hearts? I don't think so. I don't think so. Now let's talk pies. Love the pies, baby. Alright. Season 3 results. 53-46. Second on Lawful Evil. And lost to Hades in the semifinals. Alright. Correspondent here says, "It's with a heavy heart that I say that we could reasonably expect the Pies to struggle in Season 4. Their batting lineup is full of quality and is quite respectable, but their pitching rotation has the potential to really hold them back. Betsy Trombone leads the way, and they're still worthy of being called an ace, but the pitching staff may struggle to keep up with the rest of the league. They've made the playoffs for 3 years in a row, but they're going to have to channel some Rockley Balboa-style underdog energy to make it back and fight for the third title. At the least, we should still be able to count on many other stars of years past to put on an entertaining season." The Pies really have had it all, haven't they? I can't say enough good things about the Pies, to be honest. They're a tremendous team. And you've gotta love old folks like that, who are past their prime, but still kicking. They're still kicking, and I think that's just lovely. I think they're great. I think the Pies are a wonderful team for what they are, but it's not their era anymore. Number 16, the Kansas City Breathmints. Season 3 results, 49-50. Third and Lawful Good. They did not qualify for playoffs. Our correspondent at LesbiansSC on Twitter says, "From everything that's happened in Kansas City this offseason, there is plenty of reason to believe that the Breathmints could build in last season compete for the playoffs again. Word from their offseason practices is that hitter Rodriguez Internet, Gray Alvarado, and Eduardo Ingram have significantly stepped up their games, and the whole team is looking more solid on defense. However," and this is a big however, "the loss of Axel Trololo in their trade to Chicago will be a hard hit to take. Newcomer Alice Guerra will bring plenty of fire, but the Breathmints may find it difficult to keep up with the Firefighters, Lovers, and Stakes in the hunt for the playoffs." The Breathmints are a team. They're a team. I think it cannot be said that the Breathmints are not a baseball team. If anyone tried to say that, I would fight them personally. However, a very good point has been made by our correspondent here. Axel Trololo is the one respectable part of the Chicago Firefighters. And they took that straight from the Breathmints. I think that Atlas Guerra will bring plenty of fire. Firefighters, get it? I think it's the case, but is it enough to get them anywhere in this game? Honestly, it might be. Sometimes you gotta look out for the people who you expect to win the least. Maybe this season, that's the 16th ranked, the Kansas City Breathmints. Let's talk 17, the Hawaii Fridays. Only one storyline emerged for Fridays fans the week of the Season 3 election: the loss of superstar Naomi McDaniel. McDaniel made her way to the Jazz hands before eventually settling in Baltimore with the Crabs. While the Fridays held on to youngster powerhouse York Silk, they didn't strengthen their squad in the meantime. In a challenging, chaotic good division, they won't be expected to match up to the likes of New York, Charleston, and Yellowstone. While they may miss the playoffs, we can all be excited to see what kind of fireworks New York Silk and his legendary vibe check will bring in Season 4. Thank you, York Silk. Thank you, Correspondent, as well. Their prediction is 39-60, 5th in chaotic good, does not qualify for playoffs. Now I have to say about the Fridays. Folks, have you ever been to TGI Fridays? I've got to say that I haven't. People these days, they're talking about all sorts of things. They're talking about femboy Hooters. They're talking about goth IHOP. They're talking about tomboy Outback. They're talking about Dommies. But no one is talking about Hawaii Fridays, and that's because they just don't fit the team. They just won't, the theme rather. They just don't fit the theme. Now, a lot of you may be saying, Carrie, my GF, my good frog, what are you talking about? And I say to that, yes. And a third resounding yes. Number 18, from a correspondent, the Hellmouth Sunbeams. Season 3 results, 38-61. 5th in Lawful Evil. Does not qualify for playoffs. We can be realistic. It's going to be a rough year at the Solarium. Last season's squad is all still there. Both one of the most passionate fan bases in the entire sport. The Sunbeams should still enjoy a fun season. Fan favorite pitcher Lars Taylor always has the potential to upset the odds, which makes his games all the more exciting to watch. They have a very respectable line of batters as well, so if they don't win a lot of games, at the least they should be enjoyable. At the end of Season 4, though, Sunbeams fans will probably be looking forward to another Elena Bella Hollywood novel, more so than any sort of playoff appearance. The Sunbeams. You know, when I talk about the Sunbeams, only one thing really comes to mind for me, and that's heart. And you've got to have heart to play baseball. Because if you don't have heart, if you don't have a beating, working heart, you will fall over dead on the mound. And that's the truth, kids. I don't know if your parents will tell you about this, but you need a functioning heart in order to live. And the Sunbeams have that. They have a functioning heart. And if anyone ever said that they didn't, I frankly am afraid of what I would have to do. I'm scared. A little scared, to be honest. And the Sunbeams make me question my own power. I'll say it right now. I don't want to dwell on that, though. Let's go to number 19, the Houston Spies. Season 3 results, 49-50. 3rd in chaotic evil. Does not qualify for playoffs. The Spies fell only just short of making the playoffs in Season 3, finishing just one game back of the Jazz hands. With little change about their roster, one might expect them to do just the same in Season 4 and compete for a spot in the postseason. I'm not quite so hot on Houston, however. Expected wins would suggest that they overperformed significantly, and their fierce competition in the chaotic evil division make that difficult to replicate year after year. Keep an eye out for Alexandria Rosales and Andrew Solis, as they have the potential to put up strong... in my cheek again. Biology professor Dr. Carrie Lilyfield, you need a functioning heart. Yes, Rain. I'm glad that you take notes. Okay. Considering their reputation of being completely unpredictable, though, the Spies might sneak past a few teams if they overperform again. I hate the condescending attitude some of these statistical media analysts have these days. you know what they say about people who make assumptions based on numbers and facts? They make an ass out of some and E. I said that joke wrong. I said the joke wrong. I'm so ashamed. This is Spies meddling. And I'm not just saying what I'm about to say because there is a red dot on my chest and I can see someone from 50 yards away with their thumb on the trigger. I'm saying this from my heart, from my soul. The Spies are not to be underestimated. The Spies, I think they could go to playoffs. To say that they overperformed is to completely devalue their efforts. And if anyone is out there who's listening to this, if you know the code, if you know what I'm talking about, you'll know what I mean. Haha. Yeah, I'm not being threatened. Last, and according to our correspondent, least, the Unlimited Tacos. Season 3 results, 38-62. Fourth and Lawful Good did not qualify for playoffs. On paper, the Tacos have perhaps the weakest squad in the entire ILB. Off paper, though, why shouldn't we be excited to root for them? Becoming fully anti-capitalist in the off-season, it's hard to dislike anything about them, even if the Wyatt Mason situation made things a little confusing for a while. While they have everything still to prove, who knows where the season will go for them. All-star and fan favorite Patel Beyonce could light up the league with her bat. The team's collectivism could signal a new start for the struggling franchise, and maybe, through practice and teamwork, the Tacos could give the Lawful Good division something to worry about. Yeah, you know what? I completely agree. Let's look at their season 4 prediction. 30-69. Fifth and Lawful Good does not qualify for playoffs. Excuse me? What? No. This isn't right. That's not right. It's so funny that they would say that, because that's so completely wrong. The Tacos aren't going to be fifth and Lawful Good. They're not going to go 30-69. This whole stream, I've been talking about the truth. I've been talking about the soul. I've been talking about heart. And there is no team with more heart in Internet League BLASEBALL than the Tacos. The Tacos are not to be underestimated. They are not to be condescended to. They are, dare I say it, the greatest team in BLASEBALL history. Dare I say it? I do dare say it, because somebody needs to say it. Somebody has to speak the truth about the Tacos. And that's going to be me. If nobody else will, I will. Because here's the facts, kiddos. There's no precedent. There's no precedent here for the Tacos to win. Sure. Maybe, just maybe, you think that numbers and, stlats are all that define a team. They only have 15 batting stars, 5.5 pitching. They're only a 20.5 team. If you're that kind of person who judges based on that kind of thing, I want nothing to do with you. I think you should be driven out of the sport of BLASEBALL, personally. And I don't want to be rude. I won't say things like that, even though I just did. I'll say it here and now, for you all. I'll say it loud and proud. The Tacos will be the champions of the Internet League next year. They'll win the Good League. They'll win the Internet Series. they'll win it all. That's the truth here, folks. I only deliver truth. And the truth is, the tacos have... Why is there still a red dot on my chest? Wait, please, no. Please, I have a family. I have little frogs to look after. Please, no, stop, don't. No. Wait, no. Please, I said what you want about the spies. You shouldn't do this to me. Please, no, get away. Get away. No, stop it. Stop.